Good morning, YouTubers. I kind of want to do a video on some stuff here. Want to talk to you a little bit about the water purification. I'm noticing here lately, I've been trying to get some more, stock up on some more. There's a couple different types. I believe this one here is like $7. This one here, I don't recall. I'm having a hard time finding this one. And that's what I kind of wanted to touch base with you. And I think it's probably because of the two hurricanes. People go out right now and see if you can't find some water containers. I'm noticing, a couple places have them here locally, but I was looking for the big containers, and here in a minute I'll show you what I'm looking for, and they're not to be found. You can get them online, but locally, and I think a lot of it is they're taking them to where the hurricanes have been because the people don't have the water and stuff. And that's what I'm trying to say is don't wait before it's too late to get this stuff. We procrastinate, and even I do, on some things, and the water is going to be the main thing. And I'd happened to watch a video. It kind of got me curious about it or whatever, so I thought I'd go out and see if I couldn't find. And before I'd seen a lot of them, and that's these water bladders you can put in your bathtub, and if something did happen, you could run the water into your bathtub, and it's a bladder that fits in there, and you could utilize that water. From what I'm finding locally, I cannot find them. Also, these barrels here, you can. And if you notice, I don't know if I can get down here enough, but this one's got a spout on it, and it's empty right now, but I got to get it up off the floor, or put some wood down. And then usually, what I do is I'll fill it up. I've got a couple others like that, but you can put these tablets in it. You can put chlorine, and it'll last 4 or 5 years, and you can recheck it. But that's what I'm saying. Don't wait. To fill one of these up, or at least have your water, and it's good to have the bottled water and things, but you got to remember to keep it in a cool, dry place, no light on it. Otherwise I would suggest running it through a water filtration system. I talked about in one of my other videos about, just having plenty of food and stuff put back. And I truly believe that right now. I have iodine. I have just any type of, if it's on sale, toothpaste and stuff. I've got, stuff like that put back. I've got, rubbing alcohol. I've got baskets and baskets. I mean, you can see them up here, along and through here. They're full of different things. You just have to realize that there's going to come a time, like a lot of people down there in where these hurricanes have happened, they have nothing. And you're not going to be able to run to your local Walmart, and then you may have to stand in a line. Or look what happened when the Great Depression. I can remember my grandfather and dad saying they have to stand in hours in line, and then for soup or something, and then you get there and you may not get nothing. There was times they had coupons for gas. I don't know if you guys ever remember that. I was trying to find them, but Dad had a couple of them put back to where they had coupons, and you could only get a certain amount of gas. you know, a lot of times they, the cigarettes and alcohol like that, some of that stuff was limited, and you can only buy it on certain times, it's just something that I really, really think that you need to really focus on. And I really think you need to focus on, if you're not a Christian, I think you really need to get right with God, because, if you're not right with Him, people, there's no longer on the fence, He, you're either with Him or against Him, and that's the whole key there. And I'm just trying to help you guys live through some, because there's some hard times coming. I don't care. There's some people out there that are naysayers and don't want to believe it and stuff, but I truly believe that things are going to happen in our lifetime to where you're going to wish that you put stuff back, and don't be one of them that's left in the dark. You know, I've got, if nothing else, like oats, plenty of oats, wheats. I wanted to kind of focus, I had somebody had asked me about it, and you want to stay away from your dark grain stuff, and that it don't store as well. It won't last, I think, 6 months or so. I've got some that's vacuum sealed that I've done when I was first prepping. I'd kept it anyway because, you can use it for a lot of different things. Same way with my salts and stuff. I've got some older salts that are in the bags that I never vacuum sealed or anything. But I'm not going to get rid of it because there's always a deer or something, and you can put a lot of salts and things. Another thing is you got to take into consideration is your cooking stuff. Our ancestors use fats and things. You need to take in consideration on that. Like I said, the water jugs that I have back over here in the corner, I'm looking for some more of them. Get the dark ones, or where you don't have a lot of light and things with them. I've got a lot of people don't think of the candle oils and things. I've got stuff like this put back. You can buy these, and the propane fuel. You can use them for a lot of different things, but once it runs out, it's out. I've got a lot of can stuff that I've bought from these prepping places, and as long as you don't break this will last for years and years upon end. I got the old Crisco stuff, just for cooking and different things. There's going to come a time, and I'll see if I can get into here, that you're going to need this stuff. I've vacuum sealed a lot of the old stuff for like spaghetti and different things like that, pastas and that. You can get this fairly reasonable. I think I give 67 cents for some of this. Got one of these little sealed containers here. You just vacuum seal it all, seal it up, and you're good to go. Once again, like I said the other day, some of my canned goods, they're getting empty, but I've got tuna fish. If I have to eat tuna fish, there's plenty of tuna fish here. Your vinegars, things like that. It's just one of them things that, and another thing I think you really need to focus on is your supplies for medical supplies and things like that. it's just, you're going to have to be able to fend for yourself. Something happens, you know, we're living in a time that you could see it every day. It's on the news, you know, something's happening. I believe that if you're not prepared, you're going to be sitting in the dark. Yeah, God's gonna help the ones of us that I feel that, you know, honor Him and that, and hopefully, you know, when the time comes, that we'll be well taken care of. But until that time, you still need to, you know, what's it going to hurt to have it put back? And you know, I talked to another Christian, and we got to talking, and it was funny because he was telling me that he had a very good friend that was a Mormon, and he said they've been taught, you know, to always, you know, in case they lose their jobs or whatever. And he said you would go over to his house, and he said I used to laugh at him because he said underneath his bed he would have canned goods. Underneath his furniture there was all canned goods. It was one of them things that, you know, he was prepared. He was always, you know, had everything. With, you know, within reason, and he just lived in a small apartment, and he said, you know, why do you have all that stuff? And he said, well, you never know, you know. He said, I'm ready for anything that could possibly happen. And he said, I don't, you know, he said I lived in an area one time that we couldn't get out for several days, and he said I was glad I had it, because he said, you know, I was a newly married person, and he said, you know, the area we was at, we wasn't familiar with it and that, and he said there was a lot of stuff going on at that time, and he said, you know, I was glad I put it back because I was prepared. And, you know, that's another thing that I wanted to tell you the other day too, guys, is a lot of people, and I've got bags and bags full of these, but the deal's for your lanterns. You know, if you've got any lanterns and the lantern oil, there's just so much stuff that I could go over with you guys and keep, you know, reiterating the stuff. A lot of guys don't think I've got, you know, the dollar store the other day had these, I think they were 50 cents a piece. You know, I've bought just about any different style that I could get for $1 or so, you know. It helps fill up my pantry a little bit. You know, you can get the soaps, $1.60 something. You know, your candles. You can use candles and things. You know, this was just going to be a little short video. I just want to go over a few things. Another thing I'm looking into for myself, I'm getting my aquaponics back up and running. You guys seen some of that. But I think if you're in an area that you can raise your own chickens and that, there's going to come a time that y'all need that. Not only can you have the chickens, if you have enough of them, you can sell, you know, from, if they're a chick on up, you can sell them, make money, you know, or barter with them. The eggs you can sell or have the eggs to eat, barter with the eggs. You know, there's going to come a time that you're going to need this stuff. And, you know, if you can bug out at your residence or whatever and have everything you need to where you don't have to worry about it and just be able to protect that, that's what I would suggest. Because, you know, there's going to come a time that everybody's going to run to the cities and things because that's where the food and stuff's going to be. And if you're kind of don't let people know things, and you can hide stuff in a way and not tell people, you're probably going to be a lot better off than them people running into town. because once they run into town, they may not get the chance to come back out. They'll put them in a FEMA camp or whatever, and they're for the duration, and they're going to tell you it's for your own good. But me personally, I don't believe it. Another thing, you can get these at the dollar store for $2. Buy lots and lots of candles and things. Aspirin, just you can buy a bunch of different things and put it back and don't have to spend a whole lot. And I guess that's what I'm trying to tell you. Just be prepared. I wanted to do another video on some stuff, but I just figured I'd do this short video this morning. I just think, trying to think of everything I can share with you guys and that. Another thing, I keep thinking, I'm sorry, I keep getting off track here when I'm talking and that, but your dried milks and things, something you can add water to and that, at least, have some kind of milk to, you got all your cooking stuff, like your cooking flour and sugar and things like that, your yeast, buy yeast up. I think the other day I mentioned bouillon cubes. You can buy enough of this stuff and put it back. Even if you have 6 months worth, you're going to be better off than the average person. Sometimes you don't think, but one of them little electric hot plates, or just one of the propane hot plates, I've seen them. When we had the ice storm, I had both. I liked the propane one because I could regulate it down. There wasn't, we cracked the window open and it was in the middle of the ice storm, and we run it, and I cooked breakfast, lunch, and dinner on it. And the bottle lasted for a couple days, if you watch it. You have to have other types of heat, for your household, and, kind of check your household out over, where you might be vulnerable, and, have something maybe prepared to where you could block it off or board it up, or, something that would, possibly save your life to where somebody couldn't get into your home. You can do different things. Sorry about that, guys. I got interrupted. I'm going to have to edit that part. But anyway, like I said, I just wanted to do a short video here. There's a lot of things I could go into. I just think we're living in a time right now that, you better be prepared. And, if you can't see it for yourself, then I don't know what to tell you. I can't feel sorry for you. There's plenty of us out there trying to help you people out and help your families survive some of this. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't want to believe it. I have family members myself that don't want to believe it. Sometimes that hurts because, you don't know from one day to the next, anything can happen. And, we're all vulnerable. You got to have the faith. And if you don't have faith in God and rely on God and have Him guide you, that's the first thing I think that you need to, get right with Jesus and the Lord, and, ask Him, if you're kind of doubting it, you really need to soul search. Don't be one of them that's left in the dark. A lot of us have a tendency not to believe it, and then when it's too late, we want to go out and get prepared, or we want to, try to buy what I call buy the insurance, and, by that time it's too late. And, you know, that's what I tell people. You know, I would rather believe in the Lord and trust in the Lord and not do that, and, you know, I'd be totally wrong, and I feel I'm not, you know, or he wouldn't be showing me things that, and telling me to go out there and, you know, tell you people to be prepared, because a lot's going to happen here in the future, and you better be prepared physically, mentally, religiously, you know, and not only that stuff, but, you know, you better be prepared for food and water and things for hard times, because there's going to come a time that you may be starved out. And, you know, the only thing I can tell you people is you're going to have to count on number one. You know, there's a lot of us that's, you know, had, excuse me, learned from the school of hard knocks. And why not be learning it now before something happens than be thrown into it? And I guess that's where I'm coming from. You know, I'm going back and reading books. I'm getting books and stuff, because what happens when it's not there anymore? And your freedom is totally gone, and you know it's coming. If any of you've read the Bible and things, you know it's eventually going to go away. And for the ones of us that's not going to take the mark, you know, it's going to be a little bit rougher on us. You know, there's people out there that says, you know, that they're true Christians and that, but then they sit there and laugh at somebody that's being a prepper and things, and, you know, oh, God's going to take care of me. Well, you know, God helps them who helps themselves also. And I'm sorry I'm being so harsh, but maybe that's what it's going to take for some of you to wake up, is because God He's upset with us the way we've done. And I, you know, I'm a sinner just like you guys. That don't make me any better than you guys. You know, I have to ask Him every day for forgiveness. But if you're not asking for forgiveness and things, you know, it's one of them deals that, you know, you really need to soul search yourself and figure out, you know, what direction you're heading. And that's all I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to help you guys out. I'm trying to help you be prepared, excuse me. You know, and that's the main thing, is if you're prepared a little bit, that's better than not being prepared at all. So please go out there, get, you know, some things, and just be prepared. Watch some of these other videos. Go watch H&H's videos and a lot of these other prepper videos, and just search your soul. And, you know, thanks once again for watching my channel. Like, share, comment, subscribe. God bless. And once again, please just pray for our nation and be prepared for the worst, and hopefully we'll get through, you know, the best times. That's the only thing I can say. You know, maybe we can, all of us, pray enough that we can get this nation back to where it needs to be. God bless. Have a blessed Saturday, and we'll see you in the next video. Okay, YouTubers, I just wanted to show you this. This is what I paid. This is all the stuff I've got. And I just kind of wanted to show you. This is what $15 buys. You can get ground pepper, I believe I got 2 of these. We've got chopped onions. There's another ground pepper right there. We'll put them off to the side there. This one is, like I said, the chopped onions. We've got the ground cinnamon. You have to bear with me, guys. Believe I got 2 of these. I got 2 of these. And another ground cinnamon. Got the 2 of these cheese sauces in the bag. And then I got 1 of these. Okay, there's 13 items here that I have got for $1. So you know, you can see for $15, you know, you can get quite a bit. You know, you got to add your tax and stuff in there, but you know, for roughly 15 bucks, you can get this stuff and not, you know, break the bank. I got another one. I got some barrels and things, and I'll show you it in the next video of a couple of the 5-gallon buckets, and you know how you can store stuff and you don't have to spend a whole lot of money or break the bank.